I think I would have understood, but like a Vulcan? It is my opinion that Mr. Burroughs' death is not the result of a mechanical accident as claimed by authorities. The removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. So I guess they're removed? Does a Vulcan mean remove? Oh, you did, Saigon! Oh, that's so cool! That is very cool. Bursting through my door for my pizza. Oh yeah! As I bust through the wall. Okay. Well, I mean, that's an interesting location. Can I like... Oh, I can go in there. Yeah, it's possible. Okay. Interesting. Keystone inspection. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped at Keystone on our way to the target AWE like you asked. I'm sending my report directly to you to try and keep a lid on this Grumman Morales desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here. Given the record, it is possible they've switched teams like you suspected, but I don't think that's the case. An event definitely occurred here in Keystone, and I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Thin air reminds me of the ordinary case, but that's just the adults. If I'm remembering the file correctly, this is different. I think our guys are casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the town, and the only strange thing we noticed were markings on various buildings. 2 overlapping circles with a dot in the shared space. Could be unrelated. I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Okay. Man, I don't know what happened there, but that's nuts. This place is nuts. Hey, Andy, what's up? What's up? Oh my god, it's so old. What was that even, Endu? I feel like that was like early 2000, was it? It was so long ago. I've come to terms with that. Oh. Gotcha, June. Well, I mean, my heart goes out to you, man. Absolutely. What kind of lighting do I use? I have those big like studio lights, like you know, like the. I got like they're. I don't even know. They have a name, most likely. It's like this kind of like tripod thing with like a bunch of lights at the top, and they're like in a box with like a blank thing in front of it to kind of make the light softer. No, they're not ring lights. They're square. 2000? Yeah. Scary Movie 1. Yeah, okay. Watching the game, having a bud? I mean, bud is alright. Bud is okay. Get to Nova Scotia, you're halfway there, kinda. So, if I get to Nova Scotia, are you gonna give me like a Nova pizza? Like how does that work? Kind of like that. Eventually, what I'd like to get is the one from Elgato, like the lights from Elgato thing. They're super expensive, but they're awesome. That's what I'd like to get. But yeah. And for my green screen, most people have it like an actual screen, like that's retractable and stuff. For me, I've actually put up a giant curtain in my office, so that the entire back wall of the office is just a giant curtain that I can pull, and it's entirely green. So I just pull it, and it covers the entire wall, and I just like, that's my green screen. And it's been working mostly great. If I don't move around too much, like obviously if I like scroll around on my chair and stuff, like you'll see like the edges of the thing sometimes, but most of the times it doesn't show. I'm working at Square Enix, not Round Enix. I mean, true, very true. Yeah. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation was launched into the legality of the Prime Candidate Program by the Federal Bureau of Control. Since all known subjects relevant to the investigation used executive privileges to decline interviews, very little first-hand information was gathered. However, anonymous sources and documentation declassified by Mr. Kirkland both paint an alarmingly clear picture of systematic something and something were brought into the oldest house and placed under something examination and testing with the aim of appointing one as director upon maturity. This program has produced no successful cases and only resulted in the traumatic something of paranaturally inclined, I'm assuming, children. Not only is this in breach of the Ash Act, but it flies in the face of basic human something. This investigation team unequivocally something the Prime Candidate Program and recommends that it be, I guess, terminated immediately. So the investigation team was like against the director. Interesting. I do not. No. Burrow tractor. A Frank Elk tractor, olive green, dried blood on the grill when last seen. Item is capable of vocalized responses or growls and unmanned locomotion. Considered highly aggressive and dangerous. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after the death of William Burrow, owner of Burrow Farm outside of Trenton, Texas. Local authorities arrived on scene after an employee found the mutilated body of Mr. Burrow beneath his tractor. Police arrived but were immediately driven away by the tractor. Panicked calls to federal authorities were intercepted by Bureau communication staff. A team was dispatched. Upon arrival, the agents approached the item and responded by growling like a bear. 3 agents were injured when they tried to detain the item, which escaped. Aerial searches for the items are ongoing. Speaking to Ms. Burrow, only revealed that she had a domestic altercation with Mr. Burrow earlier the night of the incident. Whether these events are connected is currently unknown. Also, how do you lose a giant tractor? Like, it can't go into the woods. It's a tractor. Like, how does that happen? Was there anything else here? No. Okay. He needs to go in there because that's where the thing that we need is. I'm assuming this is not going to work. No. Okay, so the electricity needs to be on.
Probably a loose power core somewhere.
Cauldron Lake U. To Chief Investigator Dennis, it happened again. 3rd time this year. Something certainly has it out for our something. Could be raccoons. The locals certainly complain about them enough, but why the hell would raccoons keep going after a monitoring station? Doesn't add up. Anyway, I've got a Bureau tech going to the site next week to take a look. Next on the list of recurring problems is the staff at the Lake House Research Station. How am I supposed to effectively keep an eye on something lake if they won't let me see any data? Hell, I don't even know what they're researching out there. We need to petition them again to share their info with investigations agents. It's only a matter of time before this something hits again, and I want to be prepared. Anyway, if anyone at HQ asks why the Bright Falls report is a little thin this month, tell them it's because we couldn't take any readings. In the meantime, I might investigate in some raccoon traps. Those damn raccoons. I know the feeling. Raccoons! Oh, gotcha, June. All good, man. All good. Dude, try and have a good time somehow. And whenever you feel down, don't hesitate to come back, and we'll try and cheer you up, dude. I love your face, man. Take care. Underhill background. Dr. Rhea Underhill is a professor at the University of Woodrow in the United Kingdom, where she teaches biology with a focus on botany. Dr. Underhill once worked with the Bureau as a parabotanist stationed in the research sector of the oldest house. She served with no incidents or demerits and is praised by those who formerly worked with her, including Dr. Darling. Dr. Underhill has no known connections to paracriminal organizations or any record of breaching her NDAs since leaving the Bureau. Her civilian behavior has been ideal, with the exception of an ongoing personal relationship with Dr. Darling that appears to have begun during their time as co-workers in the research sector and revisited intermittently ever since. Depending on the duration of her work in the oldest house, it may be required to have both parties sign a relationship clearance form. This investigation has found no compelling reason to deny Dr. Darling's request to offer Dr. Underhill an interim position with the aim of finding a solution to the mold threshold issue. Oh, so she used to work for the Bureau, then she left, and she came back to deal with the mold. I see. Okay, that makes sense. Huh. Kirkland, I'm growing tired of your blatant attempts to lay your incompetence on my doorstep. I know you want this to be true, but you are head of investigations. This failure is your responsibility. What did you think would happen holding a dangerous specimen in investigations? The containment sector exists for a reason. They are better trained and better equipped for this type of work. In fact, they have admirably taken on certain AWE monitoring responsibilities that your staff are no longer capable of. This happens more and more now. And don't think your petty internal investigations have gone past my notice. You are a worm. Everything I've done has been for the benefit of the Bureau. The Prime Candidate program only failed because of Darling. You're both failures plotting against me. Oh my god. You're traitors, but the truth will emerge out of you. You're choosing to become my enemy, Kirkland. You don't want to be. Wow. Wow, that's intense. And it's rich coming from Trench, the guy that brought the issue, the big problem inside the oldest house. Like, come on. Gotcha, Cygod. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, something was launched into the something of Director Zachariah Trench. A recent change in something witnessed in Director Trench, including aggressive something when something with other staff has been observed. However, this investigation is aimed at interpreting this issue rather than improving it. Notable something between Director Trench and Dr. Darling has been witnessed by numerous Bureau staff. Although both declined to meet for an interview on the matter, witness accounts suggest their arguments center around the dimensional research wing and the something kept inside. However, no evidence exists to confirm Director Trench something as anything more than interpersonal disagreements. This investigation has concluded that Director Trench behavior is not indicative of any something, and that his fitness to lead is not in question. So I get it now. So he was getting super aggressive because of the hiss. So it's not like he, you know, was necessarily like super aggressive before. Oh, come on. Really? I broke the window and I can't enter? Come on. What is this?
There. Now that gate should open.
Are you tired too, Guido? I'm exhausted myself. Yeah, it's been tough. There's a lot of reading. The purpose of internal investigation X-397 is to examine the containment failure of specimen SI-1 that resulted in the deaths of something agent. An inspection report of the containment equipment 3 days earlier showed no faults. Investigators suspect human error to be the cause, yet no department has provided any evidence to support this. Technicians were able to recover the researcher's note on the specimen from the internal network on the something of something. The specimen began displaying a sharp increase in aggressive behavior, I'm assuming. Cross-referencing the date with various logs found only 2 events inconsistent with the sector's daily routine. The air filters were changed, and an hour prior to the incident, a civilian named Alice, someone, entered the sector regarding an unrelated investigation. Given their connection to the same AWE case, it is likely that Ms. Alice presents is relevant to the specimen's escape and to the something. Investigation is ongoing. So someone named Alice kind of screwed everything over. Or caused the thing to escape.
I'm no detective, but something definitely happened here.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. This group individual has operated outside of the Bureau's notice for decades, perhaps longer, displaying a level of skill and caution rarely seen in para-criminal groups. A review of past cases has found various mentions of their activities over the years. Look at Discord. Oh, does the main game end? So we kind of we find Polaris, which is the kind of entity in our mind. We find like where it's located inside the oldest house, and we try and save it and fail, and then he kind of disappears, and then we kind of get possessed by the Is, and we manage to get like out of the Is's grasp by like, we're kind of like stuck in our mind for a while, and whilst we're in our mind, we're kind of trying to get out of his control and breaking like the kind of cycle we're stuck in, and we're just basically discovering that the even though like the like Polaris is no longer physically in the oldest house, it's still in our mind, which allows us to completely like cleanse the hiss from us, and then we go into where the slide projector is, which was the big item that was kind of that started the whole thing. It's in one of the areas in the oldest house, and it's where the portal to where the hiss is coming from is. We close that down. We fight like wave and waves of enemies. We close the portal down, and then we cleanse our brother, and then the game ends. Basically. And our brother, who is now cleansed, is in a coma. Oh my god. Sumner, that's awesome. Oh, that is so cool. That is so very nice. You're saying thank you to me. I'm saying thank you to you. Sumner is buying some merch. The Shino Dark t-shirt and the Shino Dark travel mug for coffee or whatever. That's so nice. That is very, very cool. Let me know you like them. Or better yet, take a picture or something when you get them. In 2016, a production company called Blessed Pictures was connected to an altered item case, as well as the death of an agent from exposure to illicit paranatural materials. In 1994, a Los Angeles-based public speaker named Chester Bless was involved in the illegal use of an altered item. In 1988, a business called Blessed Repairs and Services was suspected of involvement with an object of power case, perhaps even creating it. None of these businesses or individuals have ever been located. However, their connection to appearances of altered items and objects of power is too direct to be considered circumstantial. An arrest order has been issued for any person believed to be involved with the Blessed organization. Weird. And also, Ginger, so also on top of that, there was like a bunch of other stuff, like our character kind of finally came to grip with the fact that they were the new director, and they kind of fully embraced the role, and that's why we have a new kind of outfit now that we can equip our character, which is like literally like a full-on director getup, and it's very nice. And yeah, so that's why like the game can continue even though the story is over. It's because we're now officially the director, and even though there's technically no longer like his portal is closed, there is still hiss in the building, so which explains why we're still gonna fight some hiss all over the place.
Do we know each other? This feels familiar.
Wait.
I can't seem to... I've forgotten it. I'm sorry. My name is Alan Wake.